Good afternoon or evening or morning, depending on where you are. It is a Facebook Live with our certified ULA life coaches. And you might notice that we look a little different tonight than we normally do. That's because our subject tonight is fun. Fun with an F-U-N, capital letters. And we have assembled today in some mysterious garb, and you may see some crazy things tonight. So be warned right now. Don't watch if you don't think you can handle it. We're just going to have some laughs tonight and hopefully share some good information with you also. So first off, our first coach, Miss Unicorn herself, Cara O'Connor, is an entrepreneur. And she has worked in the health and wellness field for over 20 years. And she's watched the industry evolve. But you know what she really loves? She really loves teaching group exercise classes and personal training and counseling clients on good nutrition, as well as wearing a unicorn outfit. So, Cara, tell us your story.
Thanks, Kevin. It's so good to be here. This is going to be a blast. I just know it. So my story, I've got a personal story for you all about why fun is an important part of my ULA journey. And it was really cool to just brainstorm and kind of think about what story I wanted to talk about. And it really hit me. I'm going to go way back to my early 20s. Oh, there you are, Kevin. Hello. I'm going back to my early 20s where the F of the ULA F fun was pretty apparent. I had studied abroad in Australia my senior year of college, and I came back home and graduated and then actually went back to Australia to live and work. I got a work visa, and I actually was applying for jobs in my field, in my fitness field, and I landed a sick job, a job working in a fitness center, like my dream job. They actually told me that I had the potential to get permanent residency status. And that was like, all right, I'm in this. And they said, when they did hire me, that one of the stipulations would be that I would not quit on them to go travel. And I said, no, absolutely not. I'm not going to quit on you. I'm here. I'm going to do this. 2 weeks go by. I mean, I'm loving this job too. Okay. Well, 2 weeks go by. My roommate comes to me with an opportunity, and she says, she's a photographer, by the way. She says, so I applied for this contest in this magazine, this TNT Backpacker magazine contest, and I won. And the prize is that I get to travel all around New South Wales, which is one of the states in Australia, all expenses paid, on their rail line. We get to stay in hostels. All of that is paid. And then they do a story for us in the magazine, or for me. And the catch is I get to take one person with me. And, you know, she says to me, I want that person to be you. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're doing this to me right now. So at that point, I had to choose between really working my dream job, potential to have permanent residency and live and work in Australia for who knows how long, or spend a month traveling around one of the best countries in the world, I believe. And I actually went with it. I chose the fun over the field at that point. And we had an absolute ball. I mean, we went surf rafting in Lennox Head. We stayed on a farm in the outback and did like this whole farm stay. It was so neat. We picked grapes at a winery. I'm looking at the magazine article, and I will show you guys at the end here. We did massages in Byron Bay. It was just a phenomenal experience. And, you know, looking back, I wouldn't have changed it for the world. It was just a phenomenal experience. And really, like, that is why I love to travel so much, and why I'm so passionate about it. I mean, the experiences that come from traveling are just one in a million. So it was the TNT Backpackers magazine. I actually did a whole like little scrapbook on it. We were featured in the back of the magazine. This is me getting my massage. That's me in my bathing suit there. But picking grapes, feeding donkeys, surf rafting, us in the outback. It was just, yeah, that's my story. And it was really cool. When I was brainstorming, I actually told the story to my 11-year-old, and he was like, wow, Mom, that's the story. And it was funny too, because I had never told it to him. So just getting his reaction from it. So yeah, thinking back, I'm like, in my early 20s, I was still, you know, I was living ULA then, and I didn't even realize it. So that's all I got.
That's the craziest thing I ever heard.
Probably not.
You actually left your dream job to go have fun.
I did.
They did not hire you back when you came back, did they?
They didn't.
Oh, I bet they did. Okay, well, thanks for sharing that. As you look back on that, would you do it differently?
Absolutely not.
No.
Nope.
Okay. Life experience is life experience.
Yep. And my husband actually made a point. He was like, hey, if you would have stayed there at that dream job, sorry, I got unicorn hair in my mouth, I think. You know, my 11-year-old wouldn't have been sitting there. So yeah, it all happens for a reason.
That's right. That's awesome. Great story.
Thanks.
All right. Michael Baboni. He's going to join us next. Michael first heard about ULA back in 2015 when his wife started following the ULA guys on Periscope. Anybody remember what Periscope was? He was drawn to their message of positivity, that each of us are designed for greatness and a purpose, and we should always be grateful and have faith. These were the exact principles that had sustained him through 30 years in a wheelchair. And although Michael and his wife were already sharing ULA when they heard about the ULA Life Coaching Program, Michael saw this as a way to help a wider audience, including the disabled community, through online webinars and coaching. So, Michael, take it away.
Well, thank you, Groucho. And howdy, partners. So what is fun? Well, I would say that there are many definitions of fun as there are people, because fun is unique to each of us and it can change over time. Before my injury, fun for me involved a lot of athletics, whereas now, being in the wheelchair, I'm more of an athletic supporter.
And evidently there was supposed to be a
change, but it didn't.
Go ahead, Michael.
Oh, am I fading in and out because the pictures are going in and out on me?
We just lost your audio for a minute.
Okay.
Go right ahead.
Did you miss my my good joke?
We did, and there was no laugh track to fill the void. So go ahead and tell
Oh,
them.
no. All right. So let me go back. So I said before my injury, fun for me involved a lot of athletics, but now being in the wheelchair, I'm more of an athletic supporter. Boom. So I still am. So my injury forced a mindset change, but it didn't stop the fun. Another mindset change came when Roseanne got pregnant. because like most guys, I'd always thought, having a son would be great, and I'd be able to share my soccer skills and swimming and horseback riding and all the other things that I like to do with him. But I found myself praying really hard for a daughter because I didn't want to be the guy who couldn't have a catch or kick around the soccer ball.
So
Not sure if you
Michael's
can see me.
audio.
Okay.
There we go. Now he's back.
So God answered my prayer. He said, here's a son, deal with it. Unfortunately, Matthew didn't get into sports until he was well into his teens. But what he was into was watching The Busy World of Richard Scarry and Cars and Trucks and Things That Go. He also liked Disney movies, costumes, and puzzles, and these were all things that I could deal with. That I had made to share with his first grade class when we did a little presentation on him on what it was like to have a disability. So Kevin, if you could play that.
Sure. Let's put the video on here. Share my screen here first.
Let me tell you about my best friend. He's a warm-hearted person who loved me till the end of the week. Let me tell you about my best friend. He's a one boy, cuddly toy, my up, my down, my fight and joy. People, let me tell you about him. He's so much fun. Whether we're talking man to man, whether we're talking son to son, he's my best friend. Yeah, he's the best friend. La la, ba la 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 ya, ba la 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 la, ba la la la
That's awesome, Michael. Thanks for sharing that video with us. You really turned lemons into lemonade there. So Michael is having a storm in Florida. It may be affecting his audio. There you go.
You guys can't hear me?
Yes, now we can.
Okay. Like I said, as you can see, Matthew didn't really resent the wheelchair. So we found that fun didn't always have to be expensive. One of the pictures there was us waiting for Tri-Rail, which is the local commuter train. And for $5, we could take that, 45 minutes or so south, get off, and get back on the train coming north. And I could kill a day with him with that and give Roseanne a break. We also did a lot of puzzles. We'd like to go to Blockbuster and find movies or videos. We also found that before 9/11, you could go to the airport and just watch planes take on and off because they didn't prevent you from getting near a window. And even when we went to Disney with his love of the transportation things, we didn't have to buy tickets. I went up for a seminar through work one time, and Roseanne and he just rode the bus, the train, the monorail, and the boat, and they never even went into a park. And that was fine for him. He loved it. And then one of our other things was NASCAR. We like to go to NASCAR races, but the races themselves are expensive. Unless you go on the practice day, which is really cheap, and you get to avoid the crowds, he could go collect all of his little race cars from the trailers. And then we come home and watch the race on Saturday or Sunday on TV. We also found a shared interest in barbecue, and hence my cowboy hat and I like pig butts, and I cannot lie t-shirt. And we got a smoker so that we could try to emulate some of what we would see on Barbecue Pitmasters. Ironically, he did get into soccer through the English Premier League, but fortunately, because they were over in England, we didn't have any temptation to try to go to a game, so that didn't cost us any money. And even more ironically, he is now a sports broadcasting major in college, which I would have never thought. But now he watches all sorts of different sports on TV, and never having missed out on, what his dad couldn't play with him. So the important thing that I would say about fun is it's not how much it costs, and it's not even really what you do, just that you remember to have some fun. If not every day, at least a few times a week.
That's awesome, Michael. And the fact that you found that fun doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be Disney World every weekend, right? It can be all kinds of number of things that can be fun, and they don't even cost any money. So that's awesome. And thanks for sharing that with us.
Yep.
And your outlook on life and how you took care of your son and raised him to be such a great man just from the way you did, telling us the story. Awesome. Our next coach is Debbie Roth. And Debbie has 22 years of industry experience leading teams and building constructive cultures. She's been coaching leaders and employees to be the best version of themselves. She's a high-energy coach who's passionate about helping people live the life of their dreams. So today, Debbie is joining us evidently from Wonderland. Debbie, what's going on there in Wonderland?
Well, Kevin, yes, I just came from, I'm actually maybe at a Mad Tea party right now. I don't know if you've noticed, but I have been drinking tea out of different sized cups during this entire broadcast to see if anybody would notice. So I've always been a lover of fun, whether it's big fun or small fun. I just love having fun. It's something that's easy for me to do right now. It wasn't always easy for me when my girls were little 10 years ago, and they required a lot of time and attention. I was also back in school. I was working full time while I was pursuing a PhD. So I was doing research, writing a dissertation, and I'm from the work hard, play hard generation. And I had taken that to an extreme of I can play hard as soon as I have all of this work done. And as soon as I complete my dissertation, that's when I'll have fun. And I love the mouse ears, Kevin. That's great.
But I'd join you from Disney World since you're in Wonderland.
Yes, it matches perfectly. So for a while there, when I was trying to do so much and I was focused so much on my career, on my field and growing in that area, the fun went by the wayside. And I somehow had in my mind that I had to get all that work done before I could have any fun. Then I had a friend who invited me and my family on a spring break vacation to rent a house together in South Carolina. And I had an absolute blast. And at that time on the vacation, I wondered why I had chosen to be miserable for so long and think that I couldn't have fun while working. I didn't have that right balance. Well, fast forward now, it's, years and years later, the PhD is done. I have much more balance in my life. I am a huge lover of fun, whether it's big fun, the big vacations, the Disney World, the cruises, or little fun every day, even if it's just 5 or 10 minutes of doing something that brings you joy. Whether it's, for me, sometimes it's just taking 5 to 10 minutes to read something fun, play music, spend time with family. What is that thing that is going to energize me? And so I think it's important to look for those little things throughout the day to maintain that energy level. Also, a way to have fun is a little bit of weirdness with the pandemic has been kind of strange. And so definition of fun, I have to think of a different way to have fun. So on Mother's Day, for example, I told my daughters that, hey, I wanted to go to Disney World. And they looked at me kind of funny. And I said, well, we're not going to actually go, but we're going to watch a bunch of videos online. People go on rides. They videotape the rides. They videotape the parades. And it was Mother's Day in Michigan was a rainy, dreary, cold day. And that was a way to have fun in our own living room. So the definition of fun changes. And I think it's important to look for ways to have that fun, enjoy in everything that you do, whether it's with working hard outside. I try to find ways throughout the day to have that fun. And even with the pandemic right now, wearing masks is not necessarily always fun, but I've even tried to find ways to add a little bit of wacky fun with the masks as well. So with that, I'm going to continue on my tea party and listening to you talk about your fun.
That's great. Thank you, Debbie. Now, do you have a different kind of tea in each of those cups, or is it all the same?
No, it's all the same.
Oh, okay.
And the day I did this with my team in a team meeting, it was all espresso, and by the end of the meeting, I was really pumped up and ready to go. Yeah.
You were really in Wonderland, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you should try Master tea sometime.
Yeah.
Master tea, really good. All right, our next coach is Vicky Washburn. And Vicky is the normal one here tonight. So she is going to just tell us a funny story. She has a mission to help women find their passion, and she guides clients to release emotional blocks which keep them from thriving. So what are you going to tell us tonight, Vicky? Go right ahead.
Well, let me tell you that, you know, my kids are all, my youngest kid is 32. So all of the costumes and the dress up stuff went to Goodwill years ago. And so I don't have just a whole lot of that. But about, let's see, what was it? So it's coming up on a year ago, 11 months, my daughter and her 2 children moved in with me. So they are 3 and 11. And let me tell you, if you guys don't have grandkids, then you really don't know what you're missing, because the 3-year-old especially, the 11-year-old, you know, he's all into the video games and he sits in back there and headphones on and, you know, he ignores the rest of us. The 3-year-old, my granddaughter, has an imagination like nothing you have ever seen in your life. Disney has nothing on her. Pixar has nothing on her. Nobody has anything on her. This girl can make up a story, and she has all these babies and they all have names and she plays all parts. And it is absolutely hilarious to sit back and watch her do these things. And she loves fun like nobody I've ever seen. She gets on the bed and bounces and giggles and plays hide and seek, and right down to one of her most favorite things in the whole world is what she calls muddles, which I live on 2.5 acres. And so there are places on my property where the puddles are muddy. And so she just has always called them muddles. And she literally will get in a place where there's no grass and she will figure out a way to get water on it just so she can dig her toes into the mud. Or she will sit at my garden with her back to the dirt and her hands behind her back, playing in the dirt and just smiling from ear to ear. She just absolutely is, she is the epitome of fun. She does, you know, I'm not saying she doesn't have her meltdowns, because she is 3, almost 4. And so she thinks she's the boss of the world. And then when we don't all comply, sometimes it's not so fun. But the rest of the time, she's just absolutely hilarious. And she has brought so much fun into my world. You know, when you live alone, fun isn't, you know, fun to me. I've always been a person of that loved spring and early summer, because I would go out every day and look for the new little sprouts coming up out of the ground, and it just always filled me with such wonder and awe. And so to me, that's kind of what fun is it's a sense of wonder and awe and just pure abandonment, and that's what I see with my granddaughter, is she just doesn't care what anybody thinks. She doesn't care whether you're into it or not. She is going to have a good time, and every once in a while she'll be doing something and she'll say it with me now, say it with me. And you have to comply because it's just too hilarious not to. And so, people can bring fun into your life. You can bring fun into other people's lives. Fun, if life has no fun in it, gosh, is it even worth living, really? I have to wonder. But anyway, so that's my story of fun. I have this hilarious little comedian that I live with that just keeps me laughing all the time. And my girlfriends they just come over and laugh hysterically at her. So
thank you for sharing, Vicky. There is nothing that's any more fun than grandkids.
You are right.
If you don't know what that feels like yet, well, wait till you do. It is awesome feeling.
My husband always said if I'd known how cool grandkids were, I'd had them first.
Right. I always say that I would have been nicer to their parents if I would have known they were going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for sharing that with us. All right, so our final coach tonight is Susie Bradley. She's coming all the way from snowy Colorado. Yes, it's September and it is snowing in Colorado. Susie has a passion and a purpose to educate and aid others in their faith journey. She also loves to help people identify and find their balance and discover how they are uniquely designed by God for a purpose. So, Susie, what are you going to tell us that's fun tonight? And Susie's on mute.
Can you see me okay?
We can see you now and we can hear you even.
Well, first of all, it's a fun snowy night here in Colorado, so I had to get off my laptop because I lost internet. So I'm on my phone now. I hope you guys can hear me. So anyways, I have my beanie on and my glasses on because yesterday it was 90 degrees and today it's 20 degrees and snowing. We dropped 55 degrees in less than 12 hours. And now we're in the middle of a snowstorm. So there's Colorado for you. There's 2020 for you. And there's just an epitome of fun. Like if you can't laugh about it, what are you going to do, right? So tonight, hopefully I don't freeze up during this, but I want to talk about function first versus fun. So this is one of my natural F's that are my favorite F's is fun. And so basically, I'm going to show you the difference between the yin yang. Oh, that's awesome. He's got all the fun now. All the yin yang of fun in my family. So my husband and I are the exact opposite. He is the functional, fun, last, functional first person. So he is responsible. He is disciplined. He is just the epitome of making sure that all the worst is done first. Now I am the fun girl. I'm the recovering party girl. If you look at all the different personality tests, I am the otter in the animal kingdom. So the otter is the influential party girl, right? I am the blue in Jacob Adamo's color wheel. So I'm the fun team player that always asks, why? Why are we doing that? Why? And then in the Myers-Briggs test, I'm the extroverted campaigner. So there I am, right? So in the ULA wheel, when we ask those ULA questions on the life balance test on fun, I score pretty good, right? I score pretty high on that fun wheel, but that one question gets me. The one question is there anything that gets in the way of your responsibilities in the area of fun because you're just having too much fun, right? Well, I have to score low on that because a lot of stuff used to get in the way of my fun. I used to do all the fun stuff first. I was the one that would make sure that at 5:55 I was breezing through to throw my deposit in the bank when I could have done it right at 9 o'clock when it was open. I was the one that my husband said, did you get that, and that done for our business? And I was sliding in home at the very last minute, making sure those things were done because I did all the fun stuff first throughout the day. So basically, I am a recovering upside down party girl, fun person when the chaos in my life was what was ruling my life, or when the selfishness in my life was ruling my life. So now that I'm tapped into ULA, living ULA, and the ULA accelerators are what are pushing me forward, and I'm blocking a little bit more of those blockers in my life, I feel a lot more balanced. Now, do I have fun? Yes. I infuse fun into everything. I do the functional stuff more first, like my hubby does, but then I always make sure to infuse the fun after. So, you know, that balance test is so awesome for people to take because they really realize where they are right now and then where they want to go and how they're going to get there. That's just the basics of ULA, the 3 simple steps that we love so much. So tonight I just had 3 tips to help you infuse fun in your life without losing that balance of responsibility. Number 1, the 3x5 card. This is incredible. Obviously, this is like the hardest thing to do in ULA. We can evaluate ourselves. We can do the where we are with the ULA wheel. We can do where we want to go with all of our 21 goals, but the actual action steps and making this real every morning is the 3x5 card. So making sure our Skittles and our oranges, our Skittles are our, of course, to-do list. Our oranges are what are going to propel us towards our goals in life. And then I put on the top, do the worst first. That helps me to make sure that I'm keeping a good balance of fun and infusing in my life. In the Skittles department, I always put some fun things. So number 2, try to do one thing out of your comfort zone every day that pushes you in the areas of your life. Now, in the field that I work with Essentially Fit with my natural wellness, I do natural wellness, faith, and fitness a lot. So in that realm with my clients or with, my family, we want to make sure we do one thing a day that just cracks us up. Just laughter is the best medicine, right? So we want to make sure we do something fun. So I am kind of pushing this fun campaign in the ULA coaching community right now, and it's a hashtag thing that we want to make sure to go viral or whatever it is. We want to trend, and it's hashtag ULA handstands. So you'll see some of us coaches who are pushing the limits, doing things out of our comfort zone to try and do headstands or handstands, and then we tag each other. And so it's been neat to watch that little trend of us doing something out of our comfort zone. It's been really great to watch people just push themselves and get out of their comfort zone, but have a blast. And then number 3, one of the things that I love doing is just taking a once a week family date, and just a fun and frugal thing that you can do with your family, your kids. Just have a date night with each one of your kids and just let them choose, or let them make dinner. Let them choose what they're going to do for the fun portion of the evening, and just something that makes you giggle. So those are the 3 things that I would do to infuse fun, but yet keeping balance in your life. And thank you, coaches, for all the things that you said. I hope I didn't miss too much. I lost the internet there for a couple of minutes, but I'm back on the best I can. And I just appreciate everybody's stories tonight. And thank you, Kevin, for having us.
Thank you, Susie, for presenting just like you always do. Such a great job. And thank you to all the other coaches who presented as well. So, as you've heard us call ourselves certified coaches tonight, certified ULA life coaches, actually. We were trained in the principles that are laid out within this book. ULA, Find Balance in an Unbalanced World, by Dr. Dave Braun and Dr. Troy Amdahl. And we became certified in this framework so that we can guide other people through it, not usually in this garb, but we do guide other people through that and help them figure out where they are and where do they want to go? Who do they really want to be? Where would they like to go and have fun? Or where would they like to go and move to a different place, or to have a different career possibly, or increase their faith? So any of those 7 areas, our clients can have goals. And then, like Susie said, we take action steps towards those goals every single day. And I can tell you that I have never in my life had more fun than I'm actually having now following that process, because I wake up in the morning and I'm excited. I'm ready to go have fun and enjoy my life. And it is an awesome experience. So being an ULA life coach and teaching other people and guiding them through the framework has been an awesome experience for me. And I'm sure the other coaches would be in agreement with that. So if you're interested in finding out more about the ULA framework, or perhaps taking that life balance test that Susie talked about tonight, we'll include some links at the bottom of this video. And we'll also include a link that you can actually find each of us in the Certified ULA Life Coach directory. So we hope that everyone had some fun with us, laughing with us, and sometimes at us probably tonight. And we hope that you'll join us the next time we have a broadcast. And we'll end tonight as we usually do. All the coaches can unmute themselves. Our ULA tagline is, be grateful,
Have faith,
and
Have
go get
faith.
your ULA life.
And go get your
Thank you,
ULA
coaches.
life.
Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.